Buying an option is only half of the trade. Selling it is how you actually make the money, or selling it to stop yourself from losing even more money. One of the biggest mistakes that beginners make is learning how to buy, but they never actually learn how to get out their trades. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid that big mistake by knowing how to buy but not knowing how to sell. I'm going to show you exactly how to sell an option on Webull, what buttons to actually press, and what happens after you exit the trade itself. So today's goal is very simple: how to sell, how to lock in profit, and how to exit a losing trade. By the end of this lesson, you're going to know exactly how to do those three things. Not how to buy one. Not this video. There's other videos in this playlist. Make sure you're watching in order. The playlist is linked in the description box and pinned in the comment section. This video is not how to buy one. This video is how to leave a trade, because every single trade has two different parts. You enter, but then eventually you have to also exit it. So what I want you to do is think about it like this. First, you're going to buy the contract. Then when the option value changes, then you will decide to sell it afterwards. Selling is simply the last step of the trade itself. So those are the three steps. You're going to buy, and then when the value changes, then you're going to choose to sell. But you get to choose when you want to get out of that trade by selling it. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your Webull account. As you can see, this is my actual individual account showing a real trade that I was in. And then we also have our options screen here, our active position trade screen here. So this is where you're going to see all of the options that you currently own. Right here, as you can see, it says my positions. It says 2, which is going to be the number that tells you how many positions you have open. If you don't know what an open position is, watch the previous video. I explain it fully in that video. It's just the trades that you currently have open. So you can see the 2 that I currently have open. I'm trading QQQ, where strike price 624, 625, and both of these trades are up over 100%, 116%, and 100% here, totaling a total profit of $202 across these two trades. So that's just the overview of what you're seeing here, with a total market value of $385. Okay, so once you open the position, and which means just to click on one of these. So I have 2, right? Because the number says 2. I have 1 here and another one underneath it. So once you click on that position, you're going to open back to that specific contract. And it's going to take you back to this page, okay? This page that we see here on the right. What you're going to do is you're going to look for the sell button. It's bright red if you're on Turbo Trader. If you don't know how to get your account onto Turbo Trader, I have a full video on how to do it from the very beginning, like to change all of it in your Webull app and your settings. So make sure that you watch that video, and you're going to look for the sell market button. If you have a market order, you'll be on Turbo Trader, because you can't do limit orders on a Turbo Trader. That is the button you're going to use to close your trade. Now, Webull is going to ask you how you want to exit. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose how many contracts that you want to sell. As you see, it says a default number of 1, 2, 5, 10. You can actually click this little button here. And what this little button will do is it'll bring up a little calculator looking number pad, and you can type in how many contracts you want to set as your default. So this is what the Webull app puts for you: 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. However, you can change it to whatever you want. And so Webull is asking you, how many contracts do you want to sell? And what type of order do you want to use? Like I said, we're only going to see market because we're on Turbo Trader. If you want to learn how to change your screen to limit orders or how to place limit orders, make sure to watch my limit versus market order video. That video has already been posted in this same playlist, so make sure you're watching the videos in order. And so if you only own 1 contract, then you're going to leave it at 1. As you can see here, I only have 1 contract here, and only have one contract here. This contract cost me $222. This contract cost me $162 for a full market value of $385. Okay? Now, because I only have one here, I would only leave it at one because I only have one contract to sell. If you own multiple, then you'll change the number to reflect how many you want to sell. So let's say you own 10, you want to sell half, you would choose 5 or type in the number 5 or use this plus button, which you can just press plus and tap up to 5. And then you would press sell market. You would see it close out those orders, and then it would reflect that you only have 5 that are active. So like I said, we're on Turbo Trader, so we don't need to choose between market and limit, but I do have a full video on the difference between those two and what type of contracts you should be, or what type of orders that you should be using depending on what you want to do for your trading style. So if order limits of market and limit sound very unfamiliar, I already made an entire video explaining the difference, but I recommend watching that video first because it's gonna help you to understand what order type actually affects the price that you receive. Because this $162 and this $222 are market prices. These are not limit orders. These are market orders, which is very different. So you need to watch that video if you don't understand those. So then what you're going to do is, if you're using a market order, your goal is to simply immediately sell at the best available price. So you're going to just click sell market. If you're using a limit order, you're choosing the lowest price you're willing to accept, and you will do that inside of your limit order outside of Turbo Trader. And that's not explained in this video. If you want a separate video on how to sell your limits outside of Turbo Trader, I can of course make that video for you guys. Just comment down below. And then once everything looks correct on your screen, make sure it says the specific amount of quantity you want. You do not want to sell contracts you don't mean to sell. Okay? You want to sell everything you plan to sell and take the profit you plan to take. Then you're going to press sell, and then you're done. You would have made your $202 profit and increase your account by 110.38% this particular day. Now, this is an actual live trade on my individual cash account where I'm trading QQQ. And this screenshot is just showing Tesla. It is going to look the exact same screen. I'm just using a screenshot from Tesla because this is what I had available to show you guys, but it'll look the exact same. Just it'll say QQQ up here, or it'll say whatever ticker that you're trading with. So after another trader buys your contracts, then the position is going to disappear from this section here. Okay, we're on our homepage of Webull. It's going to completely disappear from right here. That means you no longer own the option. The trade is complete and your profit is realized. So that would have been $202, or your loss would have been realized. Let's say we lost $200, right? It would be negative 202, and that would reflect up here. Okay, so what we see here is our open P&L, our open profit and loss, which means that we're currently in profit of 110% on whatever total positions we have. However, once we sell them, once we press the sell button, this will also disappear because there's nothing open because we sold what we had. So there are really only 2 reasons to sell. The first reason you're going to sell an option is to lock in your profit. The second reason is to cut your losses. And this means to cut your losses before your losses keep getting bigger. But I want you to notice that the button is the same. Whether you're taking a profit or you're taking a loss, you are still going to click this sell button here. Whether you're making money or losing money, you still close the trade the exact same way. That's the only thing that changes, whether you're taking a profit or taking a loss. But the only thing that changes is why you're selling, but you're still going to click that exact same button. So a very common beginner mistake is you think that you have to wait until the expiration of the actual contract, and that is not true. As you see here, this says the 8th of December 2025, and I can almost guarantee you that this was a 0-day contract because it's probably a 0-day, had to be, because there's a little timer here which tells you that your positions are actually about to expire. So what that means, if they're about to expire, that means that they're either you need to lock in your profit or lock in your losses, or you need to let it just expire. Those are the three ways that your option contract can end to where it's no longer active. So two of them you get to choose, and one of them you're not going to choose. You don't get to choose if it expires. That expiration date is going to stay the same regardless. So let's just assume that this contract was open and active on the 8th of December 2025. You don't actually have to wait until it expires to sell or to let it go. You can close a contract before its expiration. And that's really what you're supposed to do, because if you wait for expiration, it's most likely going to be out of profit. Now, there's a lot of times where you can actually hold a trade and let it expire profitable, but most of the time we will lock in our profit before it becomes before it reaches its expiration date, whether that is today or tomorrow or however long we bought it out. There's already a video in my playlist showing you exactly what expiration dates mean and how to find them in your options chain. So make sure you watch the video, how to read your options chain. So buying an option does not mean that you have to hold it to the very end. You just literally exit whenever your trading plan tells you to, whether you're a scalper or a swinger. Whatever strategy you use, your strategy will tell you when to exit. Your plan tells you when to exit, okay? So let's review. Step one, you're going to open up your options page. That is on your main page here. If you have multiple positions, it's way easier to find them here than to try to go back and search through your options chain. Don't try to go search through your options chain, because your options chain is constantly changing. It's constantly moving. So it's going to be very hard to track it. Just come here to the home page, to your positions. They're going to be sitting right here waiting for you. Then you're going to select on the option that you want. Now, if you only made one trade, there's only going to be one contract waiting for you. So you're going to click on it. And then step 3 is going to take you to this screen where you're going to tap sell. And then you're going to make sure that if you are not trading in Turbo Trader, you will just simply make sure you're exiting the correct order. So order type, so either limit or market. Here I'm already on market, so I'm going to sell my market order. Submit the order by pressing sell after confirming everything is right on the screen. Once the trader buys your contract, you're out, you're done. Simple as that. You're open. P&L will automatically update and your account will automatically say plus $202, and boom, you've locked in your profit. You've made your money. Simple as that. So now you fully understand how to sell and how to lock in your profit and how to exit a losing trade. First, you're going to buy your option. Then you're going to wait for it to either get in profit or to a point where you want to get out, whether you're losing or not. And then you want to sell it either for a loss or for a profit. But regardless, we're still clicking on our sell market button. Buying is what starts the trade when we place a trade, and selling it is what finishes it. So now that you know how to buy an option, and now you know how to sell one with this particular video. But there's something else that surprises most of every single beginner, because most beginner traders don't lose money because they press the wrong button. They literally lose money because they keep making the mistake over and over and over, the same exact mistake. So in the next video, I'm going to show you the 5 biggest beginner mistakes I see new options traders make and how you can avoid them before they start to cost you money, because you can lose money even if you click all the right buttons. So if you're brand new to options, make sure to watch the playlist from the beginning. It is tagged in the description box as well as pinned in the comment section. And every single lesson is going to build on the last. They're meant to watch in order, so you don't have to guess what to learn next. They're literally made to teach you in order. The full beginner Webull Options playlist is linked below, and make